For one reason or another, you have stumbled across the ancient practice of semen retention and have decided it is now time that you embark on this journey yourself. Once you begin, and you start to see the new world that opens up, there is no going back, and this can be quite a difficult thing to process. People who enter into the process half-heartedly may spend several years floating somewhere in between the two states of retaining and releasing. And while this certainly is a part of the process, it need not be prolonged unnecessarily. It can be disheartening to get repeated glimpses of what you could become, and each time falling off the horse because of a momentary slip-up. It is important to remember not to be discouraged or put off when you do take a backward step, because this will happen many times. It is a very necessary part of the process that you must go through. If, like most modern males, you have been releasing the potent life force that is your seed on a regular basis for several years, it is extremely unlikely that your body and brain circuitry are going to let you change that pattern in a mere matter of weeks or even months. You have to accept that this could be a mountain that you spend the next several years attempting to summit. You must accept that you will find yourself descending this mountain every so often to regroup before pushing on again. There will be many doubts that creep in along the way, and you will learn to deal with these in time. You will come to see the temporary nature of these negative thoughts and feelings, and you will be able to push past them and progress to the next stage of the journey. The first 30 days are like riding a roller coaster. The graph of progress is not linear. Do what you must to get through this stage. It is wise to go a full month first, before you make any decisions on whether you feel you can continue. But by this point, progress will have begun to show, you will have started to notice the first changes, and motivation will not be hard to come by. This path has been taken by many throughout ancient history, but has been completely forgotten in the Western world, and even discouraged in many places. However, very recently, the first whisperings have been recirculating. This ancient knowledge that cannot be suppressed is slowly revealing itself again to those who have been paying attention. It is likely that in the not-so-distant future, semen retention will be common practice again among males. If you are one of the few who is catching it this early, you are ahead of the curve and in the extreme minority. You find yourself in an advantageous position in many areas of life. As shall be assessed in future talks, the social, financial, relational, health and spiritual changes that take place are significant. You will wonder why you have only just come across this powerful force at this stage in life. As mentioned, this path is not a straight one. It is rough and full of trip hazards. In the coming months, you will discover that sometimes you will be able to go 3 weeks without having to release. And in other periods, you will find that even just 4 days is impossible. On occasion, you will reach 50+ days and then find that you cannot even reach the 2-week mark for several months at a time. It is important to understand that this is a very necessary process that the body, mind, and spirit must go through. With each streak, you are strengthening those new pathways. It gets slightly easier each time. At a certain point, the growth begins to skyrocket. Something higher than yourself takes the reins, and going back to the old ways is no longer an option. You must bear in mind that the forces at play here are extremely powerful. You have bravely decided to begin the process of overcoming a lifetime of negative patterns. But this is something that must be earned. Those who are not destined to overcome this yet will be filtered out early on. They will live life on the basic material level for the time being. And that is also okay. 99% of men cannot control their sexuality. If you are listening to this right now, however, there is a good chance you will transcend this in this lifetime. You have felt the calling and are taking the first step. For those rare few of you, I encourage you to look out for these videos as they are released and use them to re-energize you as you encounter the inevitable challenges that arise along the way. These are stepping stones to assist you on your road to 90 days and beyond. Can you remember the endless energy you had as a child? Can you imagine returning to that state, but with the knowledge you now have as an adult? With that constant excess of energy, what will you manifest? With life's limiters removed, will you turn your dreams into reality? Remember, if the benefits came in 1 week, everyone could do it. If they came in 1 month, a lot could still do it. But because it takes upwards of 90 days, only a few will ever get there to see and feel what has been spoken about by so many throughout history. It is a rare thing indeed to be high on life constantly. It is not just about knowing about semen retention, otherwise everyone would be on the journey. It is about somehow saying no when that moment of temptation arises. Even though you know the benefit is not coming straight away, or even the next day or the next week. It is the ultimate and hardest example of delayed gratification for future rewards. A tiny percentage of the human population will be able to get there. Will it be you?